Hey guys, so I am back. Um, we are actually going to take kind of like a different approach now. Um, change of plans always happens. Sometimes you find new research opportunities and you got to take those opportunities as they come. So basically our opportunity for today is taking a look at spectrum as kind of like a social force. And I've been thinking over the past 200 billion hours, when I've had to adjust my settings for spectrum. And I've been thinking, I've been kind of pondering what actual benefits could this situation have? I think the answer to this is, what can we learn? What can we learn from this? And I think what I learned from kind of just existing and trying to ignore the burning hatred within me. I think what I learned is that we need a social change. Something needs to change. But at the same time, I thought, we need to give Spectrum a fair shot. All right. Spectrum didn't mean to do anything wrong, right? Let's not be too harsh. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of their YouTube videos, and we're just going to kind of see what, in their terms, does spectrum mean. So what does spectrum mean to them? And once we figure that out, we're going to kind of see how their minds work, so then we can destroy them from the inside out. So let's go ahead and start. Let's see, they have the cast of Goosebumps on here. And speaking of Goosebumps, I get goosebumps whenever I think about them crumbling to the ground and going bankrupt. So maybe that'll have a little bit more information about that.
Hey, I'm Stoney and I play Trey.
I'm Sam McCarthy and I play Devin Brewer.
Hey, I'm Galilea and I play Frankie.
I'm Jaden Bartels and I play Cece Brewer.
I'm Elijah and I play CJ in Goosebumps The Vanishing, streaming on Disney Plus with Spectrum.
Okay, so to this first question that we see here,
streaming on Disney Plus with Spectrum.
Who's more likely to leave the room if a ghost is present? I would say probably I'm more likely to leave the room if Spectrum is the internet service that they're providing, or I'm more likely to actually turn into a ghost if Spectrum is providing the internet, because I'm more likely to kill myself if I have to be in the same room that they put in. And one thing I'll say about the modems, I won't speak about the routers just yet, but one thing about the modems is they're extremely fucking ugly. So that's just kind of one aspect, is it aesthetically is displeasing and mentally displeasing and psychically. I think they have done something really well with this business model, which is they have sort of engineered the entire experience to be, how would you say it? Disfiguring and make you want to be the size of the actual modem. So you can take up less space, and so that your organs can be all squished together. And that way you will have organ dysfunction and will die sooner. So That's kind of just my answer to this question before they get into their approved answers. But yeah, let's kind of just see what they say.
I don't know why.
Okay, so that's one thing that is kind of accurate that I'm seeing so far is this actor is saying, I don't know. And that's usually what happens whenever I'm either working with the technology itself. The modem and router frequently don't know what the hell is going on. So that's one common thing. And then one other common thing is whenever I talk to the people at Spectrum who are very nice, but one downfall that they have is they also do not know what is going on.
My first thought would be Elijah.
So that is one thing that would be different is there are no thoughts at Spectrum. They haven't really upgraded their internet service since the caveman days. So that's kind of a reflection of how, you know, thinking is something that if they did want to improve their business, then they could begin that thinking process where they use their brains to come up with technology that does not cut out every day or probably every hour.
Elijah would, if he thought there was a ghost actually, he's out of here.
So again, I would be out of there. If I had my way, I would leave the planet. So then I wouldn't have to be on within like 500 billion million miles of Spectrum or its subsidiaries.
Oh, 100% Galilea is leaving the room if she feels a ghost's presence.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, would you guys stay?
No,
Like,
I would be
that
going as well. We would all be out the room.
Ghost?
But
I don't know,
would
it
say,
depends. Is it like a friendly ghost?
So Spectrum is not friendly. Their agents are friendly, but as far as the kind of insidious undertones that, have you guys ever seen that movie Insidious where they're just like, they'll just be like hanging out and talking about their weird son and their creepy ass house that they are in. And then like the demon guy will just like appear behind them and there will be a loud piano chord. That's kind of how I feel is like I could be, you know, just living my life, not even using the internet. And then it could suddenly just pop out and be like, whoa, you know, like, whoa, just kind of like, whoa. It could just be kind of like, whoa. And then it could be kind of like, whoa.
Vibing.
Ooh, I kind of could see a couple different people doing this. I could see.
Okay, I don't know what is up with that lady's shirt. But you can tell that it's too tight on her because the buttons are straining. And I feel like my eyeballs I have to like hold them back from popping out of my skull. And that also causes like this weird sort of tension that's really uncomfortable. She looks like she's comfortable, but for me, I would be uncomfortable with that. And I'm uncomfortable with the fact that my children are born in the same world as Spectrum.com. Lots to learn here.
Elijah being like, absolutely not, I'm not messing with this, and I'm out. Okay. I could also see Galilea being like, I don't really want any part of it.
And Galilea, I know this is kind of a tangent, but Galilea reminds me of Galileo. And Galileo never could have predicted. He was a great scientist, you know. He figured out that the planet was a planet. He figured out that the orbit was an orbit. But one thing he could never understand is the visible light spectrum. And neither could Isaac Newton. You know, both of them were big fans of science and all that, studying how light reflects and refracts, but never could they understand why this specific blue color that spectrum has is the worst color in the entire spectrum and it makes me nauseous every single time I look at it.
This. I think it would be a tie between them. I feel like
Speaking of tie, I wish I could tie. I wish I could tie a knot in a rope that I could use to lasso the router and toss it out of the window, and just kind of like throw it away, just throw it in the garbage.
Actually, Francesca also might want to get out of there. Oh,
Galileo.
I could see that.
I'm not
actually,
even sure right?
she would be like, "I need to just check."
Oh, goodness. Probably Sam.
Yeah,
Sam,
I
who
was
plays
gonna
Devin, he's definitely going to go investigate. He's just that type. He's adventurous, and he can go do it. I will let him do it 100%.
Ah!
No, so
So not
no,
Oh, so he didn't get scared. One thing about being scared is, you know, it's kind of like it happens once and then you kind of recover. I will never recover in my entire life from this experience. This experience that returns to me every single day. So that's just kind of one small detail.
Tony.
nothing.
I think Francesca would be the easiest to scare.
She would be the most willing to
Jumpy.
be jump scared.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I would go with Jaden.
I think I am probably the most likely to get scared, to be honest.
You're stuck in the woods with Spectrum. Who is Spectrum? That's kind of the question that I have always wondered about myself, is like, who is doing this? Who is like puppeting this disgusting organization that is full of, as I say in the sidebar, worms? I need to make this a little bit bigger. Let's make this maximum size. Who is kind of the ringleader of this carnival of just disaster, this carnival of diarrhea and feces?
Stony. Yeah.
Why?
Simply because I'd have to trust him with my life.
Yeah, I feel like I get that.
I'd have to give it to him.
Elijah and Stoney, I feel like, would be the only ones who'd any clue what to do.
I feel like you're a pretty nature guy.
I'm a Georgia boy.
Right? Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There you
So how would you start a fire?
Well,
If I wanted to start a fire, I would just plug in any Spectrum modem or router. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if it's mine or somebody else's or a brand new one off the assembly line or one in the trash, which is probably 90% of them. If I wanted to start a fire, I would just take any of those and I would plug it into the wall and it would instantly explode and start a huge just forest fire that would burn through the entire United States in a just disgusting hellfire conflagration that would cause a great migration into the bottom of the ocean, because people would rather drown than be anywhere near the intense heat that the anger or the experience of the electrical malfunction of this substandard, cheap equipment.